So you want to make a game, but for some reason you're not sure what exactly that you want to make your game about. First of all, congratulations, that's a problem not a lot of people have. Second of all, have no fear, because in this video I will give you some tips and tricks on how to find your own good game ideas. I mean, I can't guarantee they're good, but you'll get game ideas. And be sure to stick around till the end, because I also have something special in store for you guys. Chances are that if you sparked an interest in game development, you usually already had some concept in your mind, whether it's something you read in a book or something that you want to turn into a game. Or maybe you just want to learn to make games and you want to figure out a new mechanic and you wrote the code for it, but you want to put it into an actual playable game, but you can't really see what setting, what's the story, something like that. What should your game be about? In that case, this video should help you a lot with that. Also be sure to cherish this moment, because once you're becoming a true game developer, you'll have too many ideas and not enough time to finish any of your projects. Take that one from me. The first starting point for getting your game is finding something that interests you. A really good example of this is The First Tree. It's made by a developer who simply had two interests. He liked foxes and he liked exploring. He simply made a game where you're a fox and you're exploring, and bam, he's a massive success. Now probably you'll have your own interests as well, that's not just cute foxes wandering around the forest. Maybe you're deeply interested into the small niche of shipping containers and logistics around them, or you're interested in dating simulators for fast food chains. The ideas can be really wild, and that's what makes them unique as well. Of course, these previous examples are maybe a bit extreme. You can always look for jobs, any job basically you can imagine, and see inspiration in that. Think about, for example, games like Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you manage a theme park, or Game Dev Tycoon, where you manage a game development company. Quite meta if you ask me. There are a plethora of tycoon games or simulator games, and they are popular for a reason, because no matter what job you pick basically, there's always at least a few people who are interested in doing it virtually. So now we have our idea, but keep in mind, I have never explicitly said the genre that your game is in, or maybe the time setting. You may have an expertise in a certain genre. Maybe you read a lot of fantasy books. Well, then you'll be more inclined to lean towards a fantasy game, because that is something that you personally have a lot of experience with. Or you watch a lot of cheesy rom-coms. You can probably tie that into your game as well and figure out the setting that is just a normal everyday life from there. Good ideas can always be decoupled from what genre of game they're in or what genre of time. The key point is that your game should always still have some kind of innovative aspect to it that differentiates you from any other competition. So you can make a dating simulator, as I said before. What makes you unique? Oh, I am in a Kentucky Fried Chicken versus I am a regular high school girl or whatever. Another way to get inspired is to just look at real life. And then I don't mean like jobs, for example, as I said earlier, but simply to go and touch some grass and leave the house and go for a walk. When you're in the park, you may see some kids playing soccer, and guess what? You can probably make quite a few cool game ideas based upon soccer. One good example of that one is, hey, I see these kids playing soccer. What if instead of kids they were rocket-powered battle cars? That's how Rocket League was born. There are plenty of other mechanics in life, even just walking. People can turn that into a walking simulator that also for some reason sells a lot of games. So truly, you can go for almost anything. There should never be a reason to not have any inspiration. And then one last point I want to emphasize is, don't think too much about the story. Chances are that you're still pretty fresh in game development if you're quite low on ideas, in which case don't bother with a long storyline, as it will only drag you down. And to truly learn how to make good games, you need to focus on mechanics. There are different mediums for different purposes. Video games are meant for interactive entertainment, whereas if you just want to tell a good story and nothing more, we have books and we have TV for those. They all have their place, but we truly want to focus on creating an immersive experience for the player where they can truly influence the game and the actions they take. And then lastly, maybe you have some ideas, but you're still not sure. One tip I can give you that also is a lot of fun is to join a game jam. These usually have some kind of overarching topic that all of the games in the game jam have to be part of. So then you can think about, okay, I have this one mechanic, I have a really good slapping mechanic in my game. I now need to somehow tie that into a game, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. Well, this game jam has a topic that is quite similar to it. So let me make a game about slapping people where I can simply test how fun is my slapping mechanic. Due to the short nature of game jams, there's also another advantage to it. As you only have 24 to 48 hours usually, there's not a lot of time that you can spend on writing a story. This also goes back to my previous point of the point is not to write a good story. The point is to make a good mechanic and make it fun for the player from the beginning. That's where game jams truly excel at. Now, I told you if you stuck around till the end, there was also a little surprise. So if you go to the description down below, you can also download 100 game ideas. If you're still, after watching this video, have no idea about what to do, you can just pick a random number of any of them and just work on that one if you want. They should be quite small in scope, but they should also allow you to figure out, okay, how will I make this mechanic work or how will I make it fun? So to summarize, don't know what game to make? Well, first start with what are you interested in? Aren't you sure what you're interested in? Well, then you can always look around for real life for inspiration, either looking at currently existing jobs and making simulators for that, or looking at real-world mechanics, such as, for example, how games are played, like soccer, or how things are done in real life, such as like walking, and turning them into an engaging game. Don't think too much about the story of your game. Story comes secondary. We truly just want to focus on getting our niche game idea that is unique and making it as fun for the player as possible. And then lastly, if you need some extra help or you need some more stimulation or pressure, you can always join game jams where the ideas are more constricted and you only have a set time to work on your game. If you're new here, hi, we're a group of indie developers working on our own game, which is a resource management and automation game set in a fantasy setting. We chose that game because we thought it was unique. You can currently wishlist us on Steam if you're interested. We also document the progress of the development of that game through our monthly devlogs. You can also check out those if you want. Apart from that, do you have any cool game ideas or do you have any tricks of how you find game ideas if you're a bit stuck? Be sure to leave them down in the comments. Be sure to leave a like as well if you enjoyed this video. Apart from that, that's all I have to say for now. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.